presents a musical nativity entitled The First Christmas Rose. Is this it? It can't be. Doesn't look much new. Come on, let's open the door and see for ourselves. Are you sure we came to the right place? I think so. And that's the opposite. And too close is just about it. I can't believe we actually go to this place. Can you? No, this can't be a place. I don't think that's what the line let's say. Excuse me. Don't go just yet. I couldn't help overhearing your conversation. I can see you are disappointed. Tell me, what are you looking for? We were hoping to find the birthplace of Christ. Yes, I suppose you must be looking for somewhere very grand. A golden shrine perhaps, covered in diamonds and emeralds. Everyone always expects that. That's right, there's nothing wonderful about this place, is there? Just look around. Nothing wonderful, eh? Let me remind you of the birth of Christ about 100 years ago. If you remember, his birthplace wasn't in a palace, nor in the warmth of a comfortable home. It was in a stable, with just a few animals for company, and a manger for his bed, full of straw. You can be sure of one thing, he would be very pleased with this little church. I can tell you. Would he? What makes you say that? Because this is the place where he was born. This is the place where he was born, and this is where he lay down his head. And here where we stand, the first Christmas morn, on this room was a castle shed. But if the King of the world sleeps in this place, our manger assured is there. This is the place where he was born, and here he lay down his head. And this is the room that was once truly full, nothing more than a castle shed. Here in this room Mary heard Christmas cry, as he lay in the manger of straw. And here stood the shepherds and priests and kings, and here went the bells at the door. Picture the scene on that first Christmas morn, when the child sent from God was born. Angels were telling the world of his birth, and mankind could rejoice on earth. You seem very kind and understanding, but we must be on our way now. Thank you for showing us the church. Don't go. Stay a while. There is more to this place than meets the eye. What do you mean? Come over here. Look. Can you see the small circle? There, under the altar stone. Yes. What is it? It is the exact spot where the child from heaven was born. Right here was his manger of straw. Right here, you say? Yes. And the small altar stone represents the exact size of the crib. Everything is as it was 100 years ago. That's wonderful. Now I'm beginning to understand. It all has a special meaning. This simple room with the cold and bare stable, and the plain altar stone with the actual manger of straw. That's it. Here is where he laid down his head, and his little men sat just there. And Joseph was about there. Am I right? Yes. What about the animals? Was there any in the stable at that time? Oh yes. There are a few cows in the corner over there, munching away at the straw. And Joseph's donkey was tied up in the far corner. It's just as I've always pictured it. It must have been a wonderful sight to see. It certainly was. I'm sure it was. Do the flowers have a special meaning? I was wondering about that too. So you know storybook. It must be something very special. Am I right? Very special indeed. Will you tell us a story, please? I thought you were in a hurry to leave. Ah, we love a good story, don't we? Yes, please. Come, sit down. The story really begins on the hillside, a few miles outside Bethlehem. There are three shepherds looking after their flocks of sheep. It is a beautiful and clear night. The sky is just one enormous blanket of stars. Just take a look at that sky. It's absolutely magnificent. Nothing but millions and millions of stars. It truly is a sight to see. Look, something's happening. There's a blazing light. It's coming this way. Gloria, in excelsis Gloria, in excelsis Deo, for Jesus Christ is King born. In Bethlehem is Christmas born. Hallelujah, sing, as he touches heaven, that his name will be the first Christmas born. Hallelujah, sing, for the time can live again, for a child in Bethlehem has been born. Gloria, in excelsis Gloria, in excelsis Deo, for Jesus Christ is been born. In Bethlehem is Christmas born. Hallelujah, sing, celebrate the music ring, everyone must know what Jesus has done. Shepherds take my sheep, you must come to Bethlehem, this is Christmas place tonight here on earth. Gloria, in excelsis Gloria, in excelsis Deo, for Jesus Christ is been born. In Bethlehem is Christmas born. What does it all mean? A child is born this night. I don't know. It means that we have been chosen to be the first people to hear of the birth of the Holy One. Who chose us? God. We have been commanded by Him to follow the brightest star, which will lead us to the place where the Holy Child is to be born. You mean we must leave? Just like that? Yes, immediately. What about the sheep? We can't just leave them. We must leave them with the young shepherd boy. Don't worry, he'll do a good job. Bring these skins. There we are, Flixton, child. Come, and we're on our way. They didn't waste some time, did they? Not really. You must remember, to be chosen by God was indeed a great honour. Didn't they meet anyone on their journey to Bethlehem? Only a small girl called Rachel. Who was Rachel? She was the daughter of an innkeeper Nathan. He had a little inn on the Bethlehem road and kept Nathan quite busy. Rachel, come away from that window and give me a hand. Can't you see I'm busy? In a minute, Father. I can't leave now. I must watch this special star. It's the brightest I've ever seen, and it's moving across the sky. That's typical. You'd rather sit there daydreaming than help your poor father. Please, Father, don't be annoyed. Come and see it for yourself. I haven't the time to wait on the star that moves across the sky. I have a business to run. Rachel's father seems very angry. I know what my father would have done, and Rachel wasn't really a disobedient girl. She had always helped her father, ever since her mother had died. But from that particular night, no one could tempt her away from the window. She was completely fascinated by the star. Then something else caught her eye. What was it? Another star? Not this time. In the distance, she saw three riders slowly making their way towards the inn. Father, come quickly. Something's happening. Hurry. I'm tired. I can't be bothered. their jewels. Yes, you're right. I can see them now. They do look majestic. Surely they must be kings. Look, they are passing right by you. Shadows I see come stealing across the desert sky. Strange to me, who can they be come riding by? The sea kings dressed in their royal gowns, their sights to see, wearing their golden crowns. The three white men, that's who they are. Crossing, going, no matter how far. This only night they follow the lights ahead of them. In every shrine, arms they ride to Bethlehem. Precious gifts, frankincense, gold and red, for God shall reign, will the journey far. The three white men, that's who they are. Dusty going, follow that star. Rachel, I'm sorry. Please forgive your father. I get very impatient at times. I understand, Father. There's nothing to forgive. Now what can I do to help? In all excitement, I've neglected the stranger in the corner. Call her and see if she wants anything else. Of course, Father. You sit and rest for a while. I'll look after him. Excuse me, sir. My father wishes to know, do you require anything else? No, thank you. But I would be pleased if you could ask your father to join me for a drink before I retire for the evening. The food was very good, innkeeper. I will sleep well tonight. You are a stranger here. Have you travelled far? Yes. I am looking for my three brothers who are shepherds. I should be tending your father's sheep. Did they happen to call here? No, I have not seen them. But I'm sure I would have recognized three strangers. Let me ask my daughter. Rachel. Yes, Father. Have you seen three strangers at the inn? No, Father. No one. I would have told you. That's very strange. Something must be wrong. They should never have left all those sheep just a young shepherd boy. Surely they told them where they were going. When I questioned him, he just mumbled about voices from the heavens and the stars that flew across the sky. It didn't make any sense to me. It all sounds very strange. Voices from heaven and a moving star. A moving star? I saw it last night from my bedroom window. I've just seen it again. It's the brightest star in all the world. Take no notice, my friend. She's just your girl. She imagines things. No, perhaps there is something in what she says. Young shepherd boy mentioned the star that flew across the sky, saying it would come to rest while a child from heaven will be born. A child from heaven? And the star will be sent to place. Oh, how wonderful! No doubt that is where my brothers are now, following that star. Some story, voices from heaven, and the moving star, a child from heaven, sounds ridiculous to me. But what if it is true, Father, and there is a child somewhere out there? Could we follow the star, Father, please? Not tonight, Rachel. Besides, it is long past your bedtime. Say good night to our friends here. Oh, Father, I wish you'd change your mind and let us follow the star. Rachel, say good night. Good night, Father. Good night, sir. I think I'll go to bed as well. It's been a hard day, and there is much to do tomorrow. I bid you good night. Good night, sir. Sleep well. angel, I think she would have followed the star to the end of the earth. She would indeed. Even as she climbed the stairs to bed, she was thinking of the star and the holy clouds from heaven. He should have gone. And so would I. If I be Rachel, I would have gone to bed, pretend to sleep, and when all was quiet, I would sneak out and follow the star. That's exactly what happened. When her father looked into her room, she pretended to be asleep. As soon as he closed the door, she slipped out of bed, tiptoed downstairs, and followed the star. Good old Rachel. I'm sorry, Father. Time to follow the star. I know you'll understand. Something's going to happen. But just wait the way I feel. Got that certain feeling. And the need is more than real. I'm excited and bewildered. Lord knows it's more than me. I just know it's going to happen. Something wonderful to see. Every star is shining, but there's just one star I see. It's on a special journey, and it's smiling down on me. He's a whistling I must follow, wherever it's gone before. Something's going to happen, there is something about that song. Once away from the inn, she raced up the hillside and searched the night sky for the star. Yes, you couldn't miss it. Like a blaze of fire moving slowly across the heavens. She must have been excited. She certainly was. But it didn't last for long, because the star suddenly vanished into a haze of dark clouds. Although she searched the sky, hoping to catch a glimpse of the star, it was hopeless. For the moment, it had been completely hidden. What did she do? She was so disappointed at losing the star. She was on the point of returning home, when she saw a small fire flickering in the distance. She decided to make her way towards it. I hope our sheep are all right. You worry too much. Surely the old boy has enough sense to craft a few sheep. If he did, then his father would be furious. Quiet. I can hear footsteps. Listen, who's over there? I saw your fire from a distance. I hope you'll be kind enough to let me stay for the rest of the night. I intend returning home in the morning. Tell me, why such a young girl out there alone in the middle of the night? I have been following the star and hoping the child comes from heaven. Come and join us. We too follow the bright star. Yeah, it's our time to listen to the supper. Thank you, you are very kind and I am very good. Do you live far from here? No, my father is an innkeeper just outside Bethlehem. Oh, I remember the place. We passed it just 2 hours ago. It was you who heard voices and were told by the angels to follow. That's right. How did you know? Your brother is staying with me and received no anxious to find you. He was quite worried about your father. Father may have fallen ill again. It might be serious. Do you think we should return? Not now. We've come this far. But I feel the star is a holy place. And so do I. Perhaps the star will come to rest. And all will be revealed. I agree. Let's go tonight, or baby. I think you get some sleep, young girl. You are very tired. Close your eyes and count your sheep. Time to dream, it's a long, long day. Time to ride down the Milky Way. Find your rainbow in And shut down on the birthplace of the child. What about Rachel? Did she go in after the shepherd? No, she looked in from the stable door, and although Mary beckoned her to come in, she wouldn't. Why not? She has no presence to give the baby. And Katie said, a little upset. That's true. Much as she wanted to go in and see the Holy Child, she remained at the stable door. I can't go in. I haven't brought a gift for the child. I'm so disappointed. I can't go in, got nothing to give but my love. It's not much to give, but my only gift is my love. See the king lay there, go frankincense and myrrh. I can't go in, got nothing to give but my love. The shepherds they bring the gifts to the castle store. I kneel on the door and shout to the king of them all. And the lady smiles, I'm back to see inside. I can't go in, I just want to run and to hide. There are tears in my heart, tears you can't see. No one knows just how I feel, no one but me. This Christmas night the world's been waiting for. A shelter from bother, sleeping in a dangerous room. Was I just waiting outside the stable door? I can't go in, got nothing to give but my love. I can't go in, got nothing to give but my love. Dear Lord, I haven't brought a gift for the baby, but I was so anxious to follow the star. It completely slipped my mind. I hope you will forgive me. Rachel, is someone there? God has been watching me. Thank you very much. Have you had a great day? You're going to help me. Help me? How? Because Rachel, tell me, what do you do? Nothing but parched grass and dry hard. Aren't they beautiful? I've never seen such lovely flowers. They're all yours, Rachel. God has answered your prayers. Thank you. Oh, thank you. You have made me so very happy. Tell me No, children, you're wrong. I've been singing this little church every day for over 20 years. No one ever hears this place but me. I found these in the doorway. Are they yours? Christmas roses. They must be from Rachel. They're for us. Neither. For our friends. And that miracle that happened